This is the maverick, a brave teen with a grieved youth from relinquishment to injury and dismissal he's flourished as well as the following 48 hours will be the most perilous, yet he should wander into hostile area and face Africa's fiercest hunters. The oddball fights to take care of his pride then, at that point. At last grows up. Family is everything for lions. A pride resides and passes on by its solidarity in numbers. The insatiable pride is the same. The securities they share have implied they've succeeded and overwhelmed. Here on the banks of the Luangwa stream in Zambia, the decided moms and aunties who lead this family have combat to guard their young people. However, life hasn't been simple for their most youthful part, teen the rebel. As the pipsqueak of the litter, the loners battle to squeeze into his rowdy family. In every case, last generally harassed, his segregation prompted close to death. Music. At long last he won the hearts of his pride and shaped a security with his more established relative, a security that has gone from one solidarity to another. While females stay in their pride for life, all male lions should ultimately leave their family by around 3 years of age. That opportunity has nearly arrived for the maverick and his sibling. They'll part from the pride in a couple of months with one another for help. They'll meander the savannah for a considerable length of time until sufficiently large to assume control over a pride and father whelps the single man. A long time as travelers will be extreme, and on the off chance that the rebel is to endure, he wants to consummate his hunting abilities. Now the teen faces an enormous expectation to learn and adapt, not least on the grounds that the family has hit difficult situations. The pride's previous chief's 2 siblings have gone boss. The more predominant of the 2 was killed and score was driven out by meandering guys. Without their chiefs, the pride divided, passing on only 6 females and 3 teens to fight for them, and presently the prey in their area on the east bank of the waterway has dispersed because of late unseasonal downpours. The pride hasn't eaten for quite a long time. They face a difficult choice: to leave the recognizable domain they know looking for food, or remain here and possibly starve. Across the waterway could be the way into their salvation. South Luangwa Public Park is 3,500 square miles of wild, at the tail of the extraordinary Break Valley, home to Africa's most famous untamed life, from the heaviest vertebrate ashore to the most grounded jaws in Africa. The fight to get by here is serious. Lions might be head of the natural order of things, yet even they are in some cases weak defensive monsters, and from their own thoughtful music. The stream is the boundary to the oddball's future accomplishment. On the contrary, West Bank prey is copious, yet its hostile area constrained by 3 fights. Solidified siblings, the troublemakers, they'd go after any youthful male lion that is not of their own genealogy. So the maverick and other youthful individuals from the insatiable pride would be in human peril, yet hunger has pursued the choice for them. They'll need to go through the test of endurance of perhaps of Africa's most unpredictable executioner, the Nile crocodile, as much as 2,000 pounds, with a nibble strength more prominent than any residing animal in Africa. Their jaws contain tactile organs that identify development in the water. They've advanced to proficiently kill anything that wanders into their way. A youthful lion like the maverick is an obvious objective. The rebel's mother drives the provisional gathering. They rapidly stand out, yet they figured out how to cross without occurrence. The well-being of the contrary bank gives brief help. The thunder reverberating along the stream implies that huge male lions are waiting to pounce. The troublemakers are studying their region. A lion's thunder can be stronger than a drill. Mohawk, the hardest of the siblings, utilizes it to promote his impressive presence and to threaten rivals. These siblings have governed the west bank of the waterway throughout the previous 2 years, assuming control more than 2 prides nearby as they've laid out their area. Their bold Dean's pride now likewise on the west bank is all in all correct to look anxious. The loner adheres near his greater sibling now in hostile area. They need to make a kill and get out again before the troublemakers find them. Yet one of the oddball's aunties quits the hunting party. Rather, she sets off alone, traveling north straightforwardly Towards the troublemakers, the remainder of the pride, including the maverick, sticks near the waterway. Their choice to check seems to take care of Impala making a beeline for drink. Its October pinnacle of the dry season. Parched herbivores have no choice except for to make the risky excursion to the stream. It's the main spot left with water in the 110-degree heat. It's a bet yet the pronghorn know over this open ground. They ought to have the option to surpass the carnivores. Impala are among the incredible competitors of the creature realm, ready to jump 10 feet high and 30 feet in distance. The lions wait for their opportunity, sitting tight for the right second. They can't stand to squander valuable energy on vain pursuits in this intensity, and they have one more motivation: to stop hyenas, the stream tribe, sniffing around for a simple cow. The strong carnivores are the pride's main opponents. The two species frequently reach boiling point overkills, so the lions would rather not chase now and hazard losing their crown jewels. The large felines might have more muscle power pound for pound, yet hyenas have 2 times the nibble power of lions. Hyena groups have been known to kill cornered solitary lions. For the present, the maverick and his pride will stand by. Night might give them the high ground, as haziness attracts the secret. Nighttime world uncovers itself. The shroud of night gives the pride a benefit over their prey. Lions' vision has developed to make them aces in murkiness. Their eyes contain additional light, delicate poles, empowering them to find in low light levels multiple times better compared to people. Anyway, their night vision is just imperceptibly better compared to Impala's, yet it's that limited benefit that the Insafu pride desires to take advantage of. They trust that the hyenas will leave, then head inland, following the Impala crowd as it gets back to the fields. To elegance, the Impala lead them further into hostile area. Hunger is giving them no choice given the opportunity. Lions can eat as much as 18 pounds of meat daily, yet getting fast prey like Impala is hard for unpracticed trackers like the oddball and his sibling. Once they start the pursuit, the pride can stay aware of the gazelle for exceptionally short explodes, so shock is imperative. The females spread out in a pincer arrangement, yet the rebel's naivete shows. His confused run frightens a sleeping giraffe, and the terrified group disperses. The pride can't bear to sit around in risky area. They attempt once more. This time the maverick and his sibling are held back. 85% of chases and prides are completed by females, and it's unmistakable these lionesses are specialists in Impala buck. It's invite food, yet not sufficiently to take care of 9 hungry lions. The blood-smudged grown-ups rapidly eat up the choicest parts, yet with so little meat it before long turns into a back and forth. The young people should manage with scraps just a brief time in the wake of being cut down. The 100-pound Impala is gone. The pride needs more food, so the females head off again, leaving the neglectful maverick with his kin. The strays are so bustling cleaning their blood-doused fur, they don't see the females leave. It's just a brief time, not entirely set in stone and securely. Lionesses put their focus on another Impala group. They dispatch the objective rapidly anyway. After the fervor of the chase, they before long understand that the youths of the pride are no place to be seen. The oddball and his kin are distant from everyone else, somewhere down in hostile area. 6 a.m. The fortunate overcomers of the night rise out of their concealing spots for the day shift. It's morning meal time, yet not all have full tummies. The hyena waterway family is as yet searching for an obvious objective. A child giraffe provokes the curiosity of a solitary female, so the grown-up giraffes safeguard the weak hack. Even from impossible dangers like this, the hyena will not go facing a completely developed giraffe. One all-around set kick from a 18-foot bull could kill her. She continues on the trail of a cadaver floating along the ocean side, draws her further away from her faction. It's driving her towards the loner, actually isolated from his mom and aunties. The loner and different young people have found their direction back to the waterway. The remaining parts of a hippo give a frantically required dinner, however their yearning could never have placed them in a more unsafe circumstance, besides the fact that the female hyena attempting to is muscle in on the oddball's breakfast. Many crocodiles are shutting in. The teens should battle to keep this food from other Hungry mouths. The oddball's natural scorn for hyenas prods him right into it, yet he ought to know not to allow the hyena to divert him. The crocodiles see a chance for a cow and bog the corpse. The oddball needs his feast back, however he's all the way terribly lost a mile inland. The females are resting from the intensity of the day, totally uninformed that their most youthful whelp is in such peril. Actually missing from the gathering is the maverick's auntie, who set off alone soon after crossing the stream. She's been following the calls of Mohawk, the fiercest of the troublemakers, yet she's not anticipating battling him. She will hit him with something substantially more impressive, her ladylike wiles. Mohawk's desire to mate areas of strength for is she's taking advantage of it for her full potential benefit. This scowl isn't hostility from Mohawk, it's a blazing reaction. He's dissecting her pheromones through a receptor in the top of his mouth, and he loves what he smells. The coy auntie flags she will mate. She's probably not going to have fledglings. Females are multiple times less inclined to have posterity with guys not known to them. All the more likely the auntie is utilizing mating to divert the male and limit hostility, while her pride is in the middle of hunting on his turf. Mohawk has gotten bulldozed with barely a second thought. Mating can occur up to 50 times each day, so it'll be some time before he proceeds with his watch. As the day continues on, the temperature takes off. It's 115 degrees at the waterway. The rebel and his sibling have figured out how to recover the pitiful remaining parts of the hippo. In spite of the midday's intensity, they take it and goes to monitor the corpse. It's too hot to even consider eating, yet they wouldn't even play with the possibility of passing on the dinner to be taken again. The crocodiles retreat to the reprieve of the water. They're remembering the big picture, saving their energy for the approaching night. The delicate tissue of the hippo is ideal for the white-supported vultures. Their furrowed tongues assist them with rapidly gulping tissue. They don't squander a piece, yet the maverick isn't prepared to share. The hyena is likewise demonstrating steady regardless of the maverick's best endeavors. All the more worryingly, she's requiring the remainder of her tribe. The maverick and his sibling could think they've won this fight. They have no clue about what's coming downstream. The remainder of the waterway family now
but the next 48
discovered
hours
some way to get alleviation from the
yet.
intensity. Mud washing manages their temperature. Where they don't have water, they make their own clammy bed to chill off on spotted hyenas. Have intense hearing and can perceive individual calls from in excess of 6 miles away. The cries are clear. There's a faction part bringing them from someplace up waterway. The decided gathering makes a direct route straight towards the calls and the unmindful maverick. 9 hyenas versus 4 unpracticed lions will be an exceptionally unreasonable battle. Yet inland, the females of the insatiable pride have likewise been energized by the hyena's calls. They start towards the disturbance, realizing it will lead them to a kill. It's a competition to get to the nonconformist first. By the cadaver pressures are rising. The hippos are distraught to have the young people near the ocean, and the loner's freshness around risk is clear. The females up the speed. They're a portion of a pretty far and shutting they should get.
The next 48 hours
to the young
will be
people
the most
before the hyena
yet.
faction, as the second night in hostile area shut in, the
He
5
must venture
females
into
come to the
enemy
ocean
territory.
side first. It's a welcome help for the oddball and his beset bunch. The
face
disadvantage
Africa's
is the young people
fiercest
currently should
predators.
share. The hippo remains. Lions are crafty and can butt a fourth of their
The
body
misfit
weight in
battles
one
to
city.
feed
Yet
his
there's a
pride.
pecking order during supper. The maverick hangs tight
Then,
for an opening. As
finally,
most youthful, he'll be last to eat. He's
comes
not
of
by any
age.
means the only one who needs a portion of the food. This time the crocodiles are not withdrawing. Their sheer weight of numbers begins to overpower the pride, and things are going to deteriorate. The solitary hyena's calls have worked. Her group individuals showed up, so it's presently 8 lions versus 9 hyenas and many crocodiles. The grown-ups conclude this battle isn't worth the effort and retreat to more secure ground. Yet the loner isn't prepared to surrender the feast. He really wants this food. He
Pride
attempts
lives
to
and dies by its
persevere.
strength in
Then his
numbers.
mom steps in to assist her with yet evening. She
The
can't
encephal
tolerate
pride
upping to this
is no
numerous
different.
hyenas. She gets a move on now.
The
The
bonds they share
nonconformist is separated from everyone else. The whole waterway tribe focuses on the young person. His mom ventures back, and this time the hyenas step back. It's an unimaginably
The
fortunate
determined
break for the
mothers and
maverick. and a
who lead
significant
this
illustration.
family
He's
have
weak
battled to
alone.
keep
The
their
hyenas
youngsters
direct their
safe.
concentration toward the crocs, exhibiting precisely why they shouldn't be undervalued,
life
while a portion of
hasn't
the
been
courageous
easy for
tribe
their youngest
occupies
member,
the crocodile at the
teenager,
front. The others sneak in
misfit.
behind to take the remaining parts of the corpse.
As the
Rejoined
runt
the
of the
unseeable
litter,
pride withdraws,
misfit
fight worn
struggled to
despite
fit
everything.
into his
Hungry
boisterous
Mohawk
family.
and the rebels Andy have been mating
The
nearly
misfit
constant for
struggled to fit
18
into
hours
his
at this point,
boisterous
yet she's
family.
had sufficient. She's done her interruption work well. Mohawk has avoided her pride. It's the ideal opportunity for her to rejoin them. She
Always
might have
lost.
warned this male over, yet in this area she is in
Always
danger
bullied.
from different lions. It's a dispassionate goodbye. Downstream, yet in hostile area,
isolation
the Unseafood
led
pride
to
holds
near
near.
death.
One another last evening's fight with the crocs and hyenas has left them wounded
Finally,
and battered. The
he won
oddball's
the
wounds
hearts
from the
of his
seeking
pride
after hyenas show
and
how
formed a
close he
bond
came to
with his
calamity. It's an
older
excruciating
half-brother.
example to learn for his impending freedom. When you don't have a pride around you, some of the time retreat is the
bond
most
that
ideal
has gone
choice.
from
There's no
strength
chance
to
to
strength.
stay there. As yet hungry, a huge crowd of bison meanders past, tantalizingly close. Their
While
number one
females
prey,
stay in their
gauging
pride
as
for
much as
life,
1,800
all
pounds
male
only.
lions must eventually
One
leave
could take
their
care of
family
the
by
entire
around
pride. The
3
bison
years
group
old.
is major areas of strength for hundreds inland. Subsequent to
time
drinking at the
has
waterway,
almost
they
come
will
for
not
the
wait
misfit
here
and
lengthy,
his
so the
brother.
lions can't
They'll
squander a
split from the
chance to
pride
pack
in a
one.
few
Yet
months
this will be a
with
test.
each other
Bringing
for
a bison
support.
down is more or less risky.
They'll roam the
Individuals from the
savannah
group
for several
forcefully
years
safeguard one
until
another
big
and
enough
could
to
undoubtedly
take over
kill a
a
lion
pride
in the
and
event
father
that the
cubs.
horns don't get them. Then stepping or
The
kicking
bachelor
could
years
for
as
any
nomads
desire
will
for
be
progress. The
tough.
pride
And if the
needs
misfit is to
serious
survive,
areas of strength.
he
For
needs
great
to
the
perfect
convenient
his
return
hunting
of the
skills
ante
now.
could influence the situation in support of themselves. They start their tale. Bison have a brilliant
The
feeling of
teenager
smell, and their
faces a
sharp
huge
vision
learning
implies
curve.
they can detect hunters. The greater part, a pretty far so trap, is fundamental. The
least
pride
because
evades the
the
pathfinder
family has
bison.
hit
This
hard
enormous
times.
solid male leads the group, examining for dangers. They're searching for a knife. Kid and old
pride's
and
former
powerless
leaders,
bison on
two
the edges
brothers,
of the group
have gone.
the off
Chief,
chance that they
the
can
more dominant of
overreact
the
the
two,
gathering
was
and split a
killed.
more vulnerable
And
oddball,
Notch
they get
was
an
driven out
opportunity
by
of cutting it
roaming
down. The
males.
pride spreads out, situating themselves inside striking distance of the stray spot.
Without
It's
their
presently
leaders,
or never their
the pride
strategies work.
fragmented,
They separate a blade kid
leaving
from the
just
herd,
6
and this
females
time it's anything
and
but a
3
lioness
teenagers
driving
to
the charge.
fend for
It's the maverick
themselves.
at last achievement. The 1-ton blade kid will keep the pride full for a
And
really
now
long
the prey
time.
in
This
their
time the
territory on
loner
the east bank of the river
doesn't need to
has
stand
scattered
by in line.
due to
He's
recent
procured his place
unseasonal
at the
rains.
table. After the illustrations
pride
he's learned over the
hasn't
most
eaten for
recent 2
days.
days, the Mavericks developing into a diligent life. The hazardous pride has
face a
conquered
tough
its foes
decision.
and eaten like rulers. Now following
To leave
48
the
hours
familiar
on the west
territory they
bank of
know
the stream,
in
it is
search
the
of
right
food,
time to escape hostile
stay
area.
here
Hello, a recently
and
sure
potentially
nonconformist
starve.
advances back across the perilous stream. Head
Across
held
the
high,
river
he's
could be
confronted probably the most troublesome
This is the
difficulties of
misfit.
his life. It's been the making of him. In a couple of months' time,
plucky
alongside
teenager
his sibling,
with a
he'll be
troubled
prepared to leave
childhood.
the security of his family and discover some way in this immense wild. For the present, he's
abandonment
appreciating being important for the family, not
to
such
injury.
a lot of a rebel any longer.
And rejection. He's not only survived,